Hello everyone, welcome to Addy Trade. Today we're going to be seeing Nifty and Banknifty analysis for Monday, 23rd August, and also a trade review of what happened today on Friday. As you can, I have opened here the 15 minutes chart of Nifty. First, let us look at Nifty and then go to Banknifty. In Nifty, as mentioned in my previous video, I did mention that if we get a gap down to this level, what I've marked, this gap area, let me use the marker. I did mention that if we hit the gap area, right, we would get a short bounce and then be sideways. Exactly the same thing happened. We did open here, touch this level, go up and hit the CPR S1 and remain sideways throughout the day. So in case if somebody is into scalping, let me just turn off this trend lines and keep only the CPR. Now you can see clearly there was a very good short signal over here, sell signal. You could have shorted here, book profits at S2 and again reshorted here towards the end of the day and book profits here. That was a trade in Nifty for today. Now coming to the trade for Monday, the possibilities are, see, the red lines are the resistance and the green lines were the support that I had drawn on Friday. So the same green lines, I can just change it to red, which can act as resistance on Monday. See, all these lines were marked on for the Friday analysis, right? Exactly, we took support here. It is all based on price action. And for Monday, we are getting a narrow CPR. So this indicates we could have a trending day either on the upside or the downside. In case we move up, I have a feeling we will be moving up a little more in case we are going to go down more, right? Before that, we will get a short up move and then go down. So the trade is based on the CPR values. The CPR values is exactly at certain resistance and a good support, right? The R1 and S1. In case we break out of the previous day high, right, this level, we break out of this region, yeah, we can go long in Nifty with this as the immediate target, 16,540, and the next target as 16,590 or 588. And the same thing on the downside. If the previous day low, that is this S1 and the previous day low is broken, support 1 and the previous day low is broken, we can go short until probably 13,310 and the next target is 16,288. See, it is very difficult to break this level of 16,360 because we have had a very good resistance previously over here and over here. So this can act as a very good support. In case we come down, a good buy would be at this level, 16,360 towards the previous day low. So somewhere in this region will be a good buy with the pivot and R1 as the target. So this is the levels that we have for Nifty for Monday. Let me just hide this trend line so that the CPR values are clear. So this is how the CPR is looking. A narrow CPR indicates a trending day on the upside or downside. So in case we break the previous day high, we can probably take a trade until R2 for sure. So that is for Nifty. Let's just quickly look at the open interest analysis for Nifty. For 26th August, which is also the monthly expiry, we have a good support coming in at 16,400. We do have a trend line there, 16,000. Yeah, over here, this is a good support. We already have marked this level in this a slight lighter green line. That's around 16,400. And on the upside, we have a good support at 16,500 and the next is 16,600. So for this expiry, the monthly expiry, 16,400 looks like a good support. And we could close anywhere between 16,500 and 16,600. In case the bearish trend continues, these are the levels on the downside where I marked, which I don't think will we will be going down so much, but in case we do, we just have a levels mark, that is 16,290. So before we go to the bank nifty, let's just have a quick check at the global markets. See, I'm recording this video on Friday evening around 8:20 p.m. and we do see the Dow is up about 140 points and even DAX is up about 40 points. So some buying is there in the global markets, and SGX Nifty is showing 110. Not sure how this will close by end of the day. So we could be looking at a good gap up on Monday based on SGX current price. So in case we get a gap up, in case we get a gap up and get a strong rejection in this area, R1 and the previous day high, we can definitely short with pivot and S1 as the target. This is in case we get a good gap up on Monday. Even if we gap up until here, 16,540, even here if we get a rejection, probably a good sell until this below levels is possible. Now let's go to Bank Nifty. Okay, in Bank Nifty, I've opened the 15 minutes chart. I just wanted to reiterate that the red lines that I draw are nothing but the lines that can possibly act as resistance, and the green lines that I draw are nothing but which possibly can act as support. See, even in Bank Nifty, based on my previous analysis video, I had concluded that if we come towards this gap, we can take resistance or support at the gap. Same thing happened. We got a huge gap down. We almost from S2 of CPR, we came to this gap level, exactly took resistance here, came down and remained sideways between S1 and S2. So in case if you are an option buyer or a futures trader who's doing scalping, this was a very good entry to go short, book profits here, and probably a second scalp could be in this region. If you're doing options, if you're a futures trader, probably we could have just shorted right at the top and book profits over here when we hit S2. Let me just hide this trend line so that we have a more clear picture of the CPR. See, we had a white CPR, that's why I concluded we could be sideways, and SGX Nifty was showing a gap down. So I did expect we'll get a huge gap down and remain between S2, S1. Pretty much the same thing happened. My trade was I shorted over here and book profits here, and this was the only trade, and I was done for the day. So this is how Bank Nifty played out today, just as we analyzed. And coming to the Monday trade, again in Bank Nifty we have a narrow CPR, which indicates there could be a slightly trending move either on the upside or the downside. So once again in Bank Nifty, what we will do is we would only take a long trade if the previous day high and the R1 is broken, with R2 as one target and this level. Sorry, there's no marking here. I'll put this red line, and targets at about 35,700, and the first target on the upside is 35,470. And in case we break this S1 and the previous day low, that is Friday's low, our first target is 34,709 and second target is about 34,580. So since we have a narrow CPR, R1, S1 are close by, we would be taking a trade if either R1 or S1 breaks on CPR. R1 or S1 breaks, only then we will be going long or short. That's our trade plan for Monday. Let's see what works out for Monday. Let's quickly check the open interest analysis for Bank Nifty. And as mentioned, we have a good support at 35,000 because a lot of 35,000 puts are written compared to the calls, and a good resistance at 35,500. And I don't think this month end expiry there's less chances of it crossing 36,000 as of today in the open interest chart, but things can change drastically on open interest on Monday itself. Because see the change in open interest, when you see the change in open interest here, there are a lot more calls that have been written at 35,000 compared to the puts. So we do have both those levels, right? We have a level at 34,500 based on the resistance, the previous previous support. I marked this line, and on top we have 35,200, and where is 35,000 is over here. Yeah, we can also have, let me put off the CPR since it might look a little messy. We can also add a line over here based on this price action. Yeah, we can also add a line here for resistance. See, since we are below, these green lines were the support that I drawn for Friday, right? And all this still hold good. These lines will act as resistance on Monday. So I'll just change the color to red. Okay, so these are the resistance that we can face on the upper side. And on the daily chart of Bank Nifty, I want to show something interesting. That is, so this is the daily chart of Bank Nifty. We have this trend line that I could draw on the daily chart, and we have exactly touched this trend line. The previous time we touched this, we went up. So we are again here. So we might get a bounce. In case we break this trend line, we could see further downside probably next week. So based on the exchange Nifty, once again, if we get a big gap up around this area, around the R1 or 35,200, and a good bearish signal, a good bearish signal is something like the candle that we had today. This action is a good bearish price action where we rejected at S1, something like that. If we get at R1 on Monday, probably we'll go short with this lower levels as the target. So this is a plan for Monday and for Nifty and Bank Nifty, and this is just analysis, right? Why we need to do this analysis is not because we can predict how the market is going to go on Monday, but however the market moves. See, nobody can say the market is going to gap up and go 400 points up or 400 points down. But whatever it does, right, in case wherever we gap up, if the market is going up, we need to have our levels marked to know until where it can go up, right? So that's the reason this technical analysis and drawing these trend lines is pretty important. And in case we go down, we need to know until where we are going down. See, the classic example is today itself. See, I shorted at S1 and booked my profits at this S2. If I didn't have all these level marks and kept thinking like we're going to fall, like Wednesday, we're going to break everything and go down, I would have definitely lost some of my profits, right? So that's why analysis and having your levels marked is important, not because we can predict the market, just because we can know where to enter and exit based on the live market. So that's it, guys, for today. Have a good weekend, and please do like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with your family and friends. Thank you.